So hello and welcome anime viewers to another video. In today's video we will be talking about the series called Origin: The Spirit of the Past. It's a sci-fi romance movie released in 2006. The film itself is very beautiful and quite underrated if you ask me. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Origin: Spirits of the Past is the story of Ajito, a young boy living in the dystopian Japan set 300 years in the future. This apocalypse was brought about by extensive genetic engineering on trees, conducted a research facility on Earth's moons in order to produce trees capable of growing in harsh, arid conditions. The trees become conscious and spread to Earth in a fiery holocaust, wiping out most of the modern civilization and fragmenting the moon. Ajito's world is covered mostly by the forest, a huge expanse of living trees ruled by the tree-like druid, which now inhabit the earth and control the water supply of both trees and humans. Ajito and his father, as well as his friends Kane and Minka, live in Neutral City, a city carved out of ruined skyscrapers of an old metropolis. Neutral City acts as both a buffer and a bridge between the forest and the Milistranic nation of Ragnar. While the people of Neutral City coexist peacefully with trees of the forest, the nation of Ragnar aims to destroy the forest in order to return the world to the way it was before the mutant trees invaded. The movie starts with Ajito and his friend Kane racing each other to see who can get to the water hole at the bottom of the city first. By disturbing the sanctity and the water hole and angering the druids, the two boys are separated and Ajito stumbles upon a large machine with cryogenic pods containing mostly dead bodies. The only active pod he finds Tula, a young girl who's been asleep for the past 300 years. He revives her, and right after reviving her, the forest drains all the water to kill her. Ajito helps her and they reach a building buried deep down called the Stayfield Control Room. Tula uses her ribbon, a portable personal electronic device worn as a necklace that can be used for communication and a variety of other tasks, to enter the building. With Ajito, after they manage to set out from the room, Ajito shows her the neutral city they live in and invites her to live with him, but she's still confused about this strange situation of the world. She meets Yonder, an enhanced women like Ajito and Kane's father. Acknowledging her as a past world human, she allows Tula to live in Neutral City, which made Ajito and his friends happy. Yonder, as the city representative, asked the forest to release water, but the forest refuses to do so because of Tula. The forest, angered by Tula's awakening since she carries a ribbon, the forest fears that she'll fall into the hands of Shunok, a soldier of Ragnar and also a person from the past who's awakened from sleep, and that will use her ribbon to locate a stalk, the environmental regrowth defragmentation system, a powerful weapon with the ability to wipe out the forest and restore human control over the world. Seuknak's the main villain of the film, and the best part about the film is that the antagonist motives actually make sense instead of making someone purely evil. Skunk's character is multi-layered. The forest considers her the harbinger of destruction for both mankind and the forest. Ragnar City announced a reward for everyone who locates the person from the past. Ajito and Kane got punished for their adventure in the forest. They got tasked with extraction work in the ruined building as a punishment. On the other hand, Minka was tasked with guiding Tula around the city. She took her to the main market of the city where people from all over the world gathered to sell things in exchange for water. But because of the water shortage, water itself has become a currency. Then she showed Tula her working place, which was a bar. On their way back home, they filled buckets of water for use. Tula had a hard time carrying a single bucket because of her fragile physique. While leaving, Minka told her that she'll be the future wife of Ajito. She said so because Ajito seemed to be interested in Tula. Someone's trying to contact Tula by her ribbon as she starts ringing suddenly. Then Ajito notices her walking into the forest and goes after her. As it's dangerous there, he introduces his father to her, who was almost a tree with some remaining human body. Ajito's father told her to accept the reality of humans if she wants to live in this world. Ajito boasted about his father and other people who built this city on their own as a peaceful place for living. Shunk eventually finds out about Tula and marches into the neutral city with his army to persuade her to join him. The forest sends a giant creature to stop the meeting, which Skunk single-handedly destroys, revealing that he has been enhanced. He allows himself to be genetically altered by the forest in order to become stronger by using the power of the trees. That convinced him to finding Stalk is the only way to restore the earth back to the world which she once knew. Tula joined Skunk in his quest to spy Ajito's plea not to Ajito's consults with his father, the folder of Neutral City, who as a result of being enhanced and having overused his power has turned almost completely into a tree. With a few days left before becoming a tree completely, he encourages Ajito to save the forest from Skunk's plan. Since destroying the trees would mean the destruction of mankind as well, Ajito journeys to the forest. Minka decides to go with her as she couldn't stop him. Minka's father storms her, telling her that it's Ajito's decision and they should respect it. After entering the forest, he submits himself to the forest. The forest grants him powers and he awakens with a new enhanced body. With white silver hairs, Ajito rushes to Ragnar where Shinnok took Tula by using his enhanced body. He reached the city within minutes and destroyed the guarding machines. With his powerful fist, Shinnok ordered his men to attack him. Even the most powerful weapons were useless against him. The army of Ragnar uses sleeping gas on the orders of Shinnok. To capture him, they restrained him with big metal chains. Upon regaining consciousness, Ajito sees Tula. He tries again to convince her, but she ignores his warnings. She leaves while telling him that it's for the best of mankind. Skunak secretly orders his men to kill Ajito. He gathered all of his strength and used the power of the forest to break free. From the chains, he rushes out and attacks the train with his tree-like hand. The army attacked him, but like always, it was no use. Skunak moves all the gunpowder to the back of the train and releases that compartment of the train. He then unleashes fire on the leftover block, causing it to blow off. Now, this particular sequence is quite intense. Ajito sustained some injuries because of it and went mad with rage. Yonder finds him and helps him regain control of his body. She told him to control the enhanced powers by focusing his consciousness on the seed implanted within him by the forest. After calming down, Ajito followed Skunak and Tula to Eastalk, which turns out to be a huge volcano converted into a mechanized weapon. Eastalk, it turns out, was created by Tula's father, the doctor who'd begun the genetic research on the trees as a safeguard against the new species. Skunak betrays the Ragnar army and commanders Eastalk, revealing his true intentions to use the weapons to clear his guilt. It so happened that Skunak worked on the original genetic alteration experiments on the trees. But becoming impatient, he had tried to speed up the alteration process, leading to catastrophic invasion of the mutant trees. A holograph of Dr. Sakul, whose Tula's father, appears after the activation of Eastalk. That explains everything about the machine and the destruction it can cause. The doctor ended the speech by giving the decision of using Eastalk to the people of Stayfield. The Ragnar army attacked the moving mounted Eastalk with all their weapons. The mountain activates weapons for counter-attacking. To the demise of the Ragnar army, the weapons were more advanced and powerful. The flames of war reach the neutral city, but Kane's father destroys the incoming meteors with his enhanced powers. When Tula learns that Skunak intends to activate Eastalk on neutral city, destroying it completely in the process, she has a change of heart, tries to stop Skunak from activating Eastalk, but is quickly overwhelmed. Ajito finds them and has a showdown with Skunak to save Tula. He lets his enhancement take over and he transforms into a tree, essentially killing himself and Skunk in the process. Tula deactivates Eastalk while looking at the hologram of her father and the weapon begins to self-destruct. However, Tula refuses to leave without Ajito having developed strong feelings for him. Although Ajito's body had been absorbed by the tree, his consciousness is intact on another plane. And there the forest reveals to him the truth about the relationship between itself and the humans. Ajito learns that the genetic admixture that gives humans extraordinary strength and eventually turns them into trees is really a two-way exchange. It also changes the forest, causing trees to give birth to new humans. In Giant Fruit, Skunak, having become one with the forest, finds peace with himself and no longer intends to fight Ajito. The forest, seeing that Ajito can teach humanity that there is no need for either hostility or separation between themselves and the trees, grants him his human form back, allowing him and Tula to escape before Eastalk erupts into flames. Having saved both the humans and the forest, Ajito brings peace between all the humans in the trees. Tula finally lets go of her past by throwing her Rabana off a ledge down into the depths of the forest and learning to live in harmony with the trees at last. So basically, the film actually has a deeper message behind its plot. It portrays the horror of climate change. So that was all for the video. If you loved the video, then please make sure to like it and also subscribe this channel and press the bell icon. Till then, goodbye, see you and sayonara.